Right now on Fox 43 Featured, the community is leaning on each other after a deadly house fire in Lebanon. How neighbors are offering each other support. The federal government shut down this week. The debate between Democrats and Republicans over healthcare tax credits and how the shutdown is impacting Pennsylvania. Plus, breast cancer survivors are lighting up the runway in Harrisburg, how it's part of a fashion show designed to give back to those impacted by the disease. Thanks for joining us for Fox 43 Featured. I'm Sedona Meadows. A deadly fire in Lebanon devastated a family and neighbors, killing 3 kids and 2 adults. Several community groups are pitching in where they can to support neighbors who know the families and even those who don't. Fox 43's Sydney Nauman takes us to a prayer vigil where the Lebanon community is learning to navigate the aftermath of this tragedy.
Wrap me in your arms.
Monday's prayer service wasn't a part of Stacey Rijo's plans.
That was planned the way we always plan things, right on the spot. We see a need, we fulfill the need.
Because nobody could anticipate the tragic fire in Lebanon Sunday morning that took the lives of 3 children and a grandmother. No time for shock.
My heart literally broke.
Only action.
We'd rather open a door, feed them, give them a place where they can be heard, and they can be seen, and they're not dismissed.
The time for grief came Monday at the Love in the Streets church, next to neighbors, friends, and even some strangers. Rijo says the message, grief touches everyone.
You don't have to know them personally to feel the pain and the sting in your heart, and we are very aware of that.
And in that grief, nobody is alone.
It hurts. Being a father, I cannot imagine. And the only thing we could do as a program is, like you said, raise money. Obviously, we can't bring lives back.
Jesus Varela is part of the Lebanon Youth Basketball and says one family member who lost his 4-year-old daughter, 1-year-old cousin, and grandmother in the fire grew up in the program. Now the group is raising money through softball and cornhole tournaments as the family weighs funeral expenses and the cost of starting over.
This house is a hub for this city.
As the community continues to navigate grief, Rijo says her doors will stay open no matter how long it takes.
I'm keeping them open all week, and maybe next week I'm going to keep them open. As long as there is a need, the doors are going to stay open.
Sydney Nauman, Fox 43 News.
Lebanon leaders say they've received a number of inquiries about how to support the families impacted by the recent fire. They say the American Red Cross is supporting the families of the victims and the residents who were displaced. In addition, the United Way of Lebanon County is accepting donations specifically for the impacted families. We have information on how to donate if you're interested and able to right now on fox43.com. This week, the federal government officially shut down because of the dispute between Republicans and Democrats over restoring tax credits for health insurance. Fox 43's James Corrigan spoke with a local member of Congress along with insurance leaders and has more details of how we got here and who will be affected.
Well, the shutdown will impact federal workers being furloughed in places such as national parks and in the FAA. The implications of the shutdown could greatly affect health care costs nationwide. The standoff between Democrats and Republicans over health insurance tax credits has created a national headache with hundreds of thousands of federal workers affected.
If you're serving the military, serving the country in the military, sacrificing every day, today, I was told, is the last paycheck that they will receive without pay.
Republican Congressman Lloyd Smucker claims the shutdown falls on Democrats, who he says rejected a Republican proposal for a short-term funding extension in an effort to dig in on Affordable Care Act tax credits set to expire this year.
That doesn't expire until the end of the year. And so we will have plenty of time, if we open the government today, to work through that, negotiate that.
The average increase that people will see starting November 1st is an 82% increase.
Devin Trolley is the executive director of Penny and says that 30% of the 500,000 enrollees in the health insurance market would lose their coverage if the credits expire.
These are people who are small business owners, freelancers, independent contractors, farmers, gig workers, part-time workers, a lot of different people who just don't have any other access to coverage.
The credits in question were passed as part of the American Rescue Plan in 2021, with Republicans in Congress torn on whether to extend them.
Smucker noted the rising deficit and the price tag of the credits, along with the significant impact that they have on insurance premiums.
We're spending over $1 trillion in interest, so that always has to be part of this discussion. But at the same time, we want to ensure that our healthcare system is working for Americans.
Now, the congressman says the most likely outcome would be for the Senate to accept the so-called clean funding extension, which would take 60 votes. It saw 3 Democrats support it today, but many are still aimed to force President Trump to restore them for the 22 million Americans they benefit. In the meantime, Congressman Smucker says his office will assist anybody experiencing delays due to the shutdown in the 11th District. James Corrigan, Fox 43 News.
The Gettysburg National Military Park and Museum will remain open during the government shutdown. The park is operated by the Gettysburg Foundation in partnership with the National Park Service and will maintain regular hours despite no funding plan from Congress. Some parts of the park operated by MPS will be closed during the shutdown, including the National Cemetery and tours of the Eisenhower House site. The U.S. Army Heritage and Education Center in Cumberland County is temporarily closed due to the government shutdown. Located in the Carlisle Barracks, the center serves as the Army's primary historical research facility. People who visit the center can learn more about the Army's past, present, and future while supporting its soldiers. It's unclear when it will reopen. Governor Josh Shapiro signed a new executive order making it easier to get vaccines in the Commonwealth. He shared the news alongside healthcare leaders in Philly. The order directs state health agencies to maintain coverage for vaccines, expand public education, and align guidance with leading medical professionals. The governor says the move is necessary to protect families' health and freedom as federal agencies face mounting political interference.
We are providing reliable, fact-based information, ensuring Pennsylvanians have full access to proven vaccines and the freedom to make the best decisions for themselves in consultation with their doctors.
The order establishes a state-based safety net program to guarantee kids can get vaccines, even if federal coverage is restricted. It also launches a new online vaccine portal. Electric company PPL announced this week that it's seeking a rate increase for customers across Pennsylvania. The Allentown-based power company filed a petition with the state's Public Utility Commission asking for its first rate increase in 10 years. The proposed change could increase monthly bills by roughly $13 per month for most customers. PPL says more revenue is needed to modernize and maintain its network, which includes nearly 47,000 miles of power lines. The rate hike would go into effect on July 1st next year if it's approved. This week in Harrisburg, local organizations kicked off Breast Cancer Awareness Month with a fashion show featuring survivors of the disease. Fox 43's Melina Brown brings us inside the event and shares how hope is on the horizon.
There's nothing more beautiful than courage, strength, and resilience, and that's what we're going to see go down the runway tonight.
Each year, October is dedicated to raising awareness and funding for breast cancer research. And this year, Sue Engels, with Making Strides Against Breast Cancer, wanted to kick it off in a special way.
This is hope on the runway, and it's truly hope on the runway. Every model that's going to walk down this amazing runway is a breast cancer survivor.
Each model and survivor came out in fall fashion and confidence, giving way for lots of applause. Before the fashion show, attendees were able to mingle, eat, and donate to breast cancer funding. And for everyone, from the models to attendees and organizers, breast cancer is personal.
My mother lost her battle of breast cancer on my 30th birthday, and this is in her honor.
And while the money raised is a goal, it's not the reason.
I committed to raising $10,000. As I walk in tonight, I'm at $34,000. That is not the reason I am here. I am here because there are 25 women that are going to have a night they are never going to forget.
Melina Brown, Fox 43 News.
WellSpan Health is highlighting its mobile mammogram unit that it says helps make breast cancer screenings more accessible. They featured the unit during a breast cancer awareness event on Tuesday in Hanover, York County. Officials with the hospital say more than 4,500 people have gotten screened through the program since it began in 2021. For one breast cancer survivor, she says early detection is important.
I would tell someone that early detection is key. Even if it is scary, go have a mammogram done because it can prevent and help you know sooner rather than later.
If you have a significant history of breast cancer or other cancers, it's important to talk to your doctor about it to see if you qualify for additional risk assessment.
People can request the mobile mammogram unit to visit their business or community through WellSpan Hospital. With the arrival of October's Breast Cancer Awareness Month comes a new study that highlights the importance of early detection. The study shows women who miss their first screening appointment for breast cancer could have a 40% higher long-term risk of dying from the disease. The study monitored more than 400,000 women from Sweden for 25 years. Among those invited to their first mammogram screening by their doctor, nearly a third didn't get one. A contentious meeting between residents of a York County neighborhood and township officials, why the community is against a new proposal coming up. Welcome back. A township meeting on a proposed warehouse project in York County took an unexpected turn Thursday, with residents and developers clashing in a courtroom-style debate. 150,000 square foot warehouse with 70 truck loading docks in Hellam Township. People packed into the municipal building to learn how the project could affect them, from traffic and safety to property values. But many say they were left with more questions.
That they aren't really defining a lot. I think it's almost between attorneys, back and forth, and it's accomplishing nothing. So we're kind of disappointed. We thought we were going to get some facts.
The meeting ran for hours as township officials heard from people against it and developers. Horn Farm and Agricultural Learning Center, next to the lot that's being considered, is one of the biggest opponents. Developers say even with natural barricades like trees, visitors at the farm would still be able to see and hear trucks pulling into the warehouse. Zoning is another hurdle for the project. Even if land use is approved, developers still need to find a tenant to fill the space. While it's still months away, state leaders are already gearing up for the 2026 Pennsylvania Farm Show. State Agriculture Secretary Russell Redding was joined by farm show officials in Philadelphia to announce the theme of the upcoming annual event, Growing a Nation. They say it'll be Pennsylvania's kickoff to marking America's 250th anniversary.
This theme is more than just a tagline. It's a tribute to those who came before, generations who worked the land in their hands and their hearts. It's a truth about the place agriculture has always held in America's story. It's steady, essential, and enduring.
The farm show will take place from January 10th through January 17th. Officials estimate the show brings about 500,000 visitors to the capital city every year. Two Adams County parents say they were lucky to save their son's life when he fell into a diabetic coma. He was just a few months old. The warning they're giving out to other families about the condition in this week's Health Smart report. FOX43 and the American Red Cross are teaming up to help save lives with another blood drive. It takes place on Thursday, October 30th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the York JCC. Appointments are encouraged, though walk-ins are welcome. For more information or to make your appointment, head to redcrossblood.org/FOX43. An Adams County family says their parental instincts may have saved their baby's life when he went into a diabetic coma at just 9 months old. Now, nearly 3 years later, his parents are sharing their story as a warning for others. FOX43's Amy Lutz has their story in this week's Health Smart report.
At almost 4 years old, Kai loves music and coloring. The picture of a happy, healthy kid. However, his parents, Rob and Brianna, say they'll never forget the day everything changed.
We knew something wasn't quite right. It was almost like he was winded, like breathing heavy from just sitting in his chair.
Within hours, they rushed 9-month-old Kai to the ER. He was then flown to UPMC Harrisburg.
I walked into the room and, I see my 9-month-old son just laying completely still. He wasn't moving at all.
Doctors at UPMC battled to stabilize him, quickly discovering he was in a diabetic coma from ketoacidosis, or DKA, a life-threatening complication.
DKA is such a situation that you have to act quickly. Otherwise, it can cause a lot of damage.
Dr. Hassan Mohar says less than 1% of children are diagnosed with type 1 diabetes before their first birthday, and that the family's quick actions made all the difference.
If we wouldn't have used our parental instincts to take him into the hospital that morning, he may not have survived the next several hours. This is his Dexcom.
The family is now raising awareness and says the best thing parents can do is to remember the symptoms of diabetes by using the 4 T's.
I'm tired, thirsty, toilet, and thinner.
Today, Kai is thriving, a playful preschooler, but resilient, living with type 1 diabetes, and determined to not let anything slow him down. Kai's family continues to manage his condition with specialists, and they hope that sharing their story raises awareness for other parents to recognize the warning signs. With your Health Smart report, Amy Lutz, Fox 43 News.
Happening in Harrisburg, you can adventure back in time to 66 million years ago. The Whitaker Center has just opened its new exhibit, Expedition Dinosaur. The exhibit features life-size animatronic dinosaurs and interactive displays. Visitors are able to get a glimpse into the Jurassic Age while also exploring how mammals evolved during and after the Mesozoic era.
We hope families, when they come, they leave inspired and curious, and hopefully we're creating new engineers, future scientists, maybe a paleontologist. But this exhibit really makes geology and paleontology malleable, so it makes it fun, but you're also stepping away, learning something new, and having a good time, maybe getting a good photo op.
The exhibit will remain on display through early January of next year. The Whitaker Center is open every week from Friday to Monday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Full details can be found on our website, fox43.com.
Well, if I'm here next year, I'll do it again. Yes, I will.
A Pennsylvania woman has found something to keep her young at heart. Details of the latest skydiving trip for this centenarian. A Pennsylvania woman is showing everyone that age really is just a number. As Jack Culkin reports, 101-year-old Clara White took to the skies to prove it.
It's not a bird or a plane, but 101-year-old Clara White of Luraysville soaring through the skies over Hazel Township in Luzerne County.
Great. Oh, it was just great. Just like I remembered from before. Yes, it was nice.
Just as exciting as your first time?
I even got to steer the plane.
It's not her first, second, or even third time taking a descent like this.
I can't explain it. It's just so great when you first go out. It's just something that I just can't tell you. I just love it.
The Bradford County native has taken this kind of journey more than a dozen times, starting in her 80s.
Because she's kind of a thrill seeker, you know. She's always up for something, you know. When she was in her 60s, I'd say, Ma, you want to go horseback riding? Okay. Do you want to go biking? Want to get on bicycles and go biking? Okay. She was always down for anything, so I just didn't think a lot of it.
White and her family have completed several age-defying feats in her golden years. This most recent trip she got to take with her grandson.
It was exhilarating. I went with her back in 2019, her last time, and I'll do it every time she goes. Every single time I'll be here.
While she's old enough to know better, Clara believes in living life to the fullest, taking advantage of every day you have.
Well, if I'm here next year, I'll do it again. Yes, I will.
Jack Culkin, Fox 43 News.
The York County SPCA kicked off Pitbull Awareness Month this week with a 90s-themed news conference. October will feature free Adoption Fridays and multiple events to bring pitties to new families, as well as new 90s-themed birch to support the animal shelter. Execs at the SPCA say many people misunderstand what kind of dogs pit bulls can really be.
What people don't know about pit bulls is that they're amazing dogs, they're great family dogs, they're safe around kids, and they're super goofy and lovable, and they make for great family pets.
The SPCA says pit bulls are the most common dogs entering shelters across the U.S., that they hope this month will get as many pitties to families as possible. While some people are gearing up for spooky season, a Halloween retailer is already turning its gears for how to ring in the Christmas season. Spirit Halloween has announced it's expanding its seasonal offerings, opening 30 Spirit Christmas stores nationwide this year. The company says a few locations will open in late October, while the majority will open in early November. 4 locations will be opening here in PA, though you may have to travel. 3 will be in the western portion of the state, and 1 is expected to open near Allentown. That's going to do it for Fox 43 Feature. Thanks for spending part of your day with us. Have a good one.
Continue with us and watch free now on the Fox 43 Plus app everywhere you stream.